always had like a vivid imagination.
Power and the money and the power.
The word.
Minute after minute.
They're incense.
Hour after hour. Everybody's running, but half of them ain't living.
I was a little bored. I felt like being a little elaborate. Maybe it was worth it. Maybe it wasn't. We'll find out in a couple of minutes if I'm joking. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live with RealCombatMedia.com. There's ashes in my Pepsi. And I cover every single major fight live. So, April 18th, 2015 is a big day in boxing. Why? Well, okay, listen. I'm going to just talk about this one fight. There's so many different things going on that day with Inside Mayweather Pacquiao Atlas, Matisse versus Provodnikov. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That was rude. You got Terrence Crawford versus Tomas Delorme, and then you got the fight I'm talking about in this video, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Andrezj Fonfara. Now, this is the first fighter, the first natural 168 plus pound fighter that Chavez Jr. is fighting. Remember, his last two fights were against Brian Vera, then before that, Sergio Martinez, when he got his face smashed in, but yet he pretty much ended the career of Sergio Martinez in just one round. So the fact that he was getting his face smashed in and he kept coming forward, and put it this way, he may have lost the fight, but if you go back and remember, people were hype. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. won the event. You know, you got to remember, you got to go back to September of 2012 to understand what I'm saying. Now, here's the thing. I'm just as concerned about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. as his father, because if you don't know, I'm a big Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fan because he plays by his own rules. You know, who can't like a badass rebel without a cause? You know, like you tell just Chavez Jr., don't blow tree. What does Chavez Jr. do? Chavez Jr. goes and blows tree. You tell Chavez Jr., don't drink and drive and fuck bitches and get money. What does Chavez Jr. do? Drink and drive, fuck bitches and get money. Now, excuse my language, but at the same time, this is an R-rated show. And what I'm saying is now he's cleaned up his life. He's got a child, you know, he's got a girlfriend. There hasn't been any failed drug test of any kind. He's been given piss and urine, I think, as of late in his last couple of fights with Brian Vera. But then again, I don't know. You don't know when it comes into Chavez Jr. He plays by his own rules. So what I'm saying is this. Is he really, really focused? Is he a different fighter, as his father is saying, as Joe Goosen is saying? Is he really dedicated? Because right now, honestly, looking at him at the media day, which was a few days ago. Right now it's April the 15th. Actually, it's April the 16th, 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2015. He still looked like he was about 190 pounds or so. So I'm wondering, like, okay, I tell you what happens if Chavez Jr. does not make weight? You know I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to chastise him because, for one, we always see him on his Instagram and everything training. We always, you know, I mean, we see that he's with Joe Goosen. We see he's an Al Haymon fighter. Somehow Al Haymon maneuvered him out of his Top Rank contract. So if you don't know, that Top Rank situation he had where he owed Top Rank one more fight, it's over. And now I'm just wondering to myself, please, Chavez Jr., please, you know, just make weight. You know, I don't care. I don't give two bowls of stuffing how you do it. Just make weight. Because something is telling me, like, in my heart, man, I just hope he make weight. But then again, if he does make weight, 175 pounds, let's say if he weighs in at 174 and 3/4, he's probably going to come into the ring at like 198 or some old shit like that. Maybe probably 201. You know, so, you know, it's tough, like, especially when you see when Danny Garcia fought Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson came in at 165. The catch weight was 143. He came in at 165 plus. And Chavez Jr. is known for coming into the ring 190-ish. Whether he fighting at 160, when he was fighting at 154. Remember, he fought at 147 and 140. I believe he fought at 140 at one point in time. He'll never do that again, obviously. But after this fight, they're saying that he's going to go to 168 pounds, or he's saying he's going to go to 168 pounds. Now, he hasn't fought in a year, basically over a year. And taking a fight like Fonfara, honestly, another thing I'm feeling is like, yo, Chavez Jr. might get beat up. And it's for the people who don't know who Fonfara is. Fonfara's not a joke. And for that to be your first major fight, okay, put it this way, I don't count Brian Vera as a 168 pounder or a 175 pounder for Chavez Jr. So I'm looking at the fact that when Chavez Jr. is jumping from Sergio Martinez 160 to fighting Fonfara, we really don't know if his power carried up yet. Remember, he didn't stop Brian Vera. So it's tough. And then also, he's going to be taking punches from a fighter that's bigger, that will hit back than Sergio Martinez, the last person to defeat him, and defeat him, you know, badly as far as busting his eye all up. And remember, he was high on pop. So, me and Chavez Jr. during that fight. So, you know, put it this way, I'm afraid for Chavez Jr. I don't know, like, I understand that he's the name, and I understand that this fight is kind of like under the radar because you got all this Mayweather Pacquiao stuff going on, and his PBC stuff, and the Matisse Provodnikov fight that day. But at the same time, this is a fight that fans need to really watch. Like, put it this way, to put it in order, of course you got to watch Matisse Provodnikov, Chavez Jr. Fonfara, and then Terrence Crawford Delorme. But either way, those are all three great fights. But man, I don't know, I'm feeling so emotional, man, but I don't want to see Chavez Jr. lose again, yo. For some reason, like the guy is good for boxing. If you notice, win or loss, and yes, he's been winning, controversy or not, you know, he only had that one loss and that one draw, controversy or not, he puts people in seats and he draws ratings. Like, he's a good personality. You know, I didn't like the fact that he had that lazy ass media day, though. You know, the fact that he's known or, you know, labeled to be somewhat of a lazy, not focused fighter, to have like a 7-minute media workout. Got to fix that shit. That shit's not cool. That's unprofessional. And I know people want to bring up the Pacquiao stuff. Yes, we have some Pacquiao Media Day stuff coming here on TstreeT Controversy. And yes, I know his was short. But Chavez Jr. shit, he was only in the ring like 8 minutes. Dead ass serious. I am TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live, and I cover every single major fight live. Shout out to El Diablito Sports Apparel. You guys see the gloves, the white ones. Gave me this nice banner. We're moving up in the world. I'm going to be using this. You know, we're going to position it right, get the lighting and everything right. I had to like stretch it out, you know, get all the wrinkles out of it and everything. We're going to figure out how to use this bad boy. It's beautiful, ain't it? I had to tell my mom, you know, like, be cool, because once she saw the hat, you know, in one of my videos, she had to make me, she wanted reassurance that, you know, I wasn't a Satanist. You know, I'm, you know, like, I'm a little eccentric. And I was like, no, man, I'm not, you know, it's a Mexican thing. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live at RealCombatMedia.com, and I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.